Imagine being able to focus on just one participant in a meeting, capturing only their stream and storing it securely without any distractions from others. Well, there's no need to imagine anymore. With Video SDK's individual participant recording, you can do exactly that. You can record only who you need, whether it's for notes, feedback, or maybe you want to record individual contributions. I'm sure you can think of even more ways to use it. In this video, I'll walk you through how easy it is to set this up and start individual recording. To get started, I created a very basic React application for you. But first, let me show you what we'll be implementing in this video. So we are going to implement this individual participant recording feature. For example, I want to record stream of this second participant. All I'm going to do is to click the start recording button. Here I'm making a post request to recording endpoint of Video SDK. So I will discuss that in a moment. Here you can see participant recording is started successfully, and when I click this button again, recording will be stopped, and we can get access to this recording through Video SDK's dashboard. So here on Video SDK's dashboard, in meetings, in recordings, for this meeting ID, we can see all the recordings here. Let's play this recording. There you go. To get started, you can clone this repository. Here I created different branch for different feature, and each feature has two versions, starting version and end version. In starting version, I'm going to implement that feature, and in end version, you can observe all the changes that I made. To get started with this project, all you need to do is to copy this HTTP URL inside your terminal, inside any folder you want. You can clone this repository by simply typing git clone and then this URL. After cloning this repository, let's navigate to this repository. Here first you need to install all the dependencies that are required for this application to work by simply typing npm install. Once everything is installed, we can open this project inside VS Code. Here, very first thing that you need to do is to provide authentication token. Authentication token is required to make authorized request to Video SDK's endpoint. In order to generate authentication token, you can head over to app.videosdk.live. Here you can see all your API keys. In order to generate an authentication token, all you need to do is to click this icon. Here choose an expiry for your token. Now this step is important. Once you generated authentication token, this is the only time you are going to see this authentication token. So make sure to save it somewhere safe place. Here we can add that authentication token. To run this project, you can type this script npm run dev. Application will be running on port 5173, and here you can navigate to different branch by simply using this command git checkout. Let's say I want to navigate to starting version of participant recording. All I need to do is to use this name, Video SDK participant recording start. Now let's understand implementation of individual participant recording. Now let's break down the process of individual participant recording. Very first step is obviously start recording. The process begins by making a post request to the endpoint to start participant recording, to initiate recording for a specific participant, and obviously at some point we want to stop recording for that participant. In order to achieve that, we can make another post request to the endpoint to stop participant recording. Once that's done, we can get access to recording through Video SDK's dashboard, or we can configure our own cloud storage. So in our application, let me show you how we can achieve that. Our application is running on localhost 5173. Here first let me create a meeting quickly so that I can show you how you can integrate that feature to record individual participant. When I click this create meeting, I have to provide my name. When I click this start meeting button, what is going to happen? Here in app component, once I've got meeting ID and participant name, I'm rendering this meeting view component. Inside this meeting view component, I have defined one local state which is joined. Based on this state, whether user is joining or joined, I'm rendering different UIs. So here I have also access to one method which is join through use meeting hook provided by VideoSDK. When this method is executed, this event will be active. Once this join method is executed, I can change status to joined, and I can display all the participant and participant list. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When participant click this button, this is the participant, and in bottom right you can see list of all the participants. So let me add one more participant here. Let's give it a name as well. Now if you look at that list again, we got 2 participants here. Now we can add that feature to record individual participant. Alright, so when I click this start recording button, nothing is happening so far. So let's see how we can add that recording feature. The first thing I would like to do is to create functions that can make authorized requests to VideoSDK's endpoint. For example, this create meeting function, here an authorized request is made to rooms endpoint of VideoSDK. Here, in order to make an authorized request, an authentication token is passed as authorization header. Alright, so let's copy this function definition and let's add a function for starting participant recording. Here the endpoint would be this, and we'll be passing 2 parameter. One is room ID and another is participant ID. Here inside body of this request, these are the options that are required. Here last 3 options are optional. This room ID is the ID of current meeting, and this participant ID is used to identify for which participant we are starting this recording. So let's pass this value here. Webhook URL is used to get instant notification about different state of recording. Let's say you created your own server and you want to get notification of different states of recording. For example, starting, started, stopping, stopped. Here you can also provide the part to the bucket directory where you want to store the meeting. For now, let's just add a null value here. Also, in this webhook URL, let's add a null value. Once a successful request is made to this endpoint, you will get a response. So you will get this string. So we can just print this value. So we can, for now, let's just print this value. We also need a function to stop the recording. In order to stop recording, only values that are required are these room ID and participant ID. Here the endpoint will be stop. Alright, everything is done. Now in meeting view, you will find this participant list component. Inside this participant list component, we are iterating through all the participant, and here you will find this button start recording. When this button is clicked, we can define this event handle recording. The ID of participant is passed to this handle recording function. Let's implement this. Here we also added one local state to get information about the current recording state, whether recording is started or stopped. Here, if recording is not started when that button is clicked, what we can do, we can call this function start recording. Alright, so let's import these 2 functions. Here, if recording is not started, we can call this start recording, and the parameter that are required is room ID and participant ID. Now we have access to participant ID, but we don't have access to room ID here in this component. But inside this meeting view component, room ID is passed as probe. We can pass this meeting ID as probe. Here very first parameter is meeting ID, or we can say room ID, and second parameter is participant ID. If a recording is already started and when that button is clicked, in that case we can call stop participant recording. And finally we will change the status of this recording. One more thing, when recording is started, let's change the text inside this button. So if recording is start, we can say recording Also, we can give some instruction that you can stop this recording by clicking this button again. Otherwise, start recording. Now let's test if it is working fine. I click this start recording. As you can see, participant recording started successfully. Text inside this button is also changed. And when I click this button again, you can see recording ended successfully. You can get access to that recording through VideoSDK's dashboard. Here in meetings, in recordings. Now the status is in progress. For a new recording, it takes 2 to 5 seconds to be appeared in VideoSDK's dashboard. Now we can play that video. As you can see, you can also download this video by clicking this download button.